Stages of Group Development by Alana Signer. The model that shows the progression of group development was introduced in the article published in 1965 called Developmental Sequence in Small Groups by the psychologist Bruce Tuckman. Bruce Tuckman's stages of development model originally only had 4 stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. It was only later, in 1977, that Tuckman added the 5th and final stage, adjourning. This model has become somewhat ubiquitous with the study of group development, and Tuckman attributes this popularity to the sing-song rhyming that he chose in naming each of the phases in the stages of group development. The first stage is forming. This is the orientation period where group members are polite and excited about what's to come. There is more of a focus on learning about the other members of the group than there is on the group project's objectives. The next phase is storming. This is the stage where conflict begins to arise as members are learning to work together. Different work styles become more apparent as the group shifts from the focus from pleasantries to project goals. This is also a period where group roles start to emerge, and so the group roles become a little bit clearer. Tension can also kind of start to occur just due to different power struggles and the power dynamics that are going on. So this period is often characterized as having high levels of frustration. The next phase is norming. So the group has now been able to overcome some of the initial challenges that it was facing, and now it's kind of able to establish a set of norms or processes and procedures so that everyone abides by. There is more cohesion as the group is able to socialize again and focus more on being task-oriented. So, but what you want to know is that even though everyone is kind of getting along and they're starting to go and shift into the next phase, they can also actually regress back into the storming phase. So they're establishing those norms, but they're not fully out of the clear there. They're still finding their footing. Those power struggles can still emerge. There can still be some conflict there, and so that's why they can regress back into the storming phase. Now the next phase, the performing phase. At this stage, the group is an established unit that has a commitment towards the universal goals of the group. So problems are handled by using those established norms and channels that they've sort of already developed, and the group is able to focus pretty well solely on the organization or the goals objectives. So members of the group are a little bit more open to feedback with each other, and there's less there's less apprehension about conflict because they really are honed in and focused on meeting the group's objectives. So lastly, there's adjourning. So this is the group's final phase and can often be characterized as being bittersweet. The group is preparing to disband, and with that, the group members will say goodbye to each other. So there was an identity that had been cultivated, and having that loss of identity can actually cause anxiety within the group members. So just something to keep in mind. Now, this stage also is very self-reflective because the group is breaking down their achievements and their failures. So they're trying to figure out what worked and then also where there is room for improvement. Thank you.